And we're up. How's everybody doing? Um, yeah, still not having the best go of it around here. uh, so finding ambition's a little hard to come by these days, but happen to have the week off. So we'll get some stuff done, I guess. For those people watching later, this is a whole lot more fun if you watch live. So please join us sometime live if you can. I'll bring you up here and read comments as we go. Hey, Bob. Everybody hear me okay? Are we good? Should just put all this stuff away. Hey, William. Hey, Tim. Yeah, it's not the best go of it lately. Still, continuing more, etc. But what are you gonna do? Gonna keep plugging along. That's all you can do. So we've got the 660 here, and I've actually got some spots here. Well, first off, updates on the other stuff. So the other stuff. So the 272 for Sammy, I spent like a significant part of Friday, like almost all the afternoon, welding up that silly muffler and learning how to use the TIG and welding that up. And it's solid. It definitely doesn't look the best, but it's got a nice big opening in it. Uh, Dave L., if you are watching, you'd be very appreciative of it. But anyway, so that's actually ready to rock. I think Sammy's going to come down sometime and pick that up, which would be cool. The Sammy's 026 Pro, we're still waiting on the cylinder head. I'm going to get that machined again and then back to me for the port work. What else? The 460 hybrid. All right. So the 440, 460 big bore hybrid wiped out another crank after 10 cuts. So I have to completely redo that thing with an OEM crank probably and see if that actually holds up. Although I will say, hey William, yeah, two Williams here. So although I will say about the 460 hybrid, I was having trouble setting the choke, and the cure was to have the multi-function switch and OEM part, which I got, and it works brilliant, just so much better. So I left the Chinese trigger and the catch, but the actual multi-function switch is now OEM. So anyway, so let's look at this 660. Let's see if we can get this going. I don't even. We might get a pop today. I don't know. I got all kinds of parts here, OEM and otherwise, to kind of throw together and see what happens. Hey, Steve. 8 inches of snow. Wow. Jeez. So actually, let's do the flywheel side seal here first. And the nice thing about this is that this is really nicely tapered, so it just kind of fits in there just right. So let's see what we got for depth, though. I can't measure it. Measure it? No, okay. So I can measure to the outer lip here, but not to the inner lip. The Outer lip is 6.86. The inner lip is 2.28. So 7 minus 2 is 5. So I have roughly 5 millimeters, and this is 4.29. So basically, flush with that inner lip should be fine. Okay, that way we don't interfere. We don't want to touch the lip to the inner race. That's all. You have a 268. I just did, waiting on an 8 millimeter flywheel as far as I can modify. An older chain brake metal side cover. Yeah, I got a regular old side cover here. It's not in great shape, but I have something if you need it, but it's not the metal one. Yeah, so Bob, what's the deal with your son? What's going on, man? I'm just going to do... So there's no need for the Coke can trick here. You don't need to do it. I'm going to put a little bit of sealer on here. This is Loctite 518, which is anaerobic sealer. Ken, thanks for dropping by. I know that you're busy, so all good. So, flywheel side seal with some Loctite 518. And again, the nice part about this is that you've got a nice taper here. That fits down nice, just like that. You don't have to worry about puckering the seal there. There's no lip. Got 10 of the plastic. I love the metal. Okay. Now I need something to tap the seal home. Do. Don't want to drive it too far. And not off kilter either. Again, I'm sure you could make a hat of some kind just to go gaboomp and have it be done. But the other thing, interesting thing that I figured out kind of hard way is that seals do have momentum. So if you give it just one whack, it may drive it way too far, no matter how well you've measured. So now what I can do is I can take my... you could take like a round punch that fits in there. Just looking for an Allen, one of my drivers. And so I'm going to place this here and drive it right down to the lip, so then I'll know it's can't go any further. Yep, that's it. No scraping. There you go. So now your seal's in. I need All right, so and I've got some spots here marked where I need to grind because the cylinder, when it interferes with those spots on the crankcase. So the simple thing here to do is kind of block this off with some tape. That way we kind of avoid getting stuff down in there. So yeah, so I've got the mark here, right there is where it's bumping, and it feels pretty thick, but it's easier just to grind there and give me room. Plus here you've got these kind of fins that are kind of interfering with this. I might be able to grind this back in some way, but whatever. Let's see how this goes. Thanks, Bob. My daughter had auxiliary bones. My son is weird. A bump. Okay. Hopefully it's just a bump. See now. Still a little bit. Actually, quite a bit here on. If I'm trying to get this into the right spot. not trying to put the screws down. I just want to get them started, and then I can actually see where the interference is. And it's right here. And I think I just need to grind more of the crankcase away. I think if I do that, gotta get rid of that fin there. I'm going to use a gasket here, so I'm just giving myself a little bit of play effectively. Gotta get rid of that. There. So I want to look down and just see what's interfering. Right now I think it's just that one fin on this side. And the crankcase here. But further, just further in. Almost. It's amazing how like little things make all the difference in these type of jobs. Hey, Andrew. Yeah, I'm not working. Bit of a longer story. Let's see if this goes now. It's still touching. what you can do is take your Sharpie and rub on it here and basically grind those two pieces together and see where it rubs off, you know. Well, let's put the screws back in and see. Actually, that's another thing. Like, this always kind of drives me crazy. You have to put that screw in there. I may grind that out a little further on that side. For whatever reason, they put a fin here, which is stupid. Waiting on parts? Okay, yeah. I do that all the time. Yeah, everybody waits on parts. Don't you hate that? I've had this done. I don't have the parts. Alright, now the question is, can I get like a piece of paper through there? If you can get a piece of paper through, which I can, and it'll be fine. Okay. Again, I'm going to use a gasket anyway, which will pull things out of the way a little bit, but it's not rocking, so that's good. Look from the side. There's clearance. All right, now we've got it. Fine. One thinks it's a bone, the other's an air pocket. Okay. Yes, I'd be scratching my head too. Alright, let's put some of this stuff away that we don't need. Tape. So now it's time to break out the wheel here. Let's do the two corners. This one. Wrist pin and pin bearing. No, the good news, Bob, is that one of them is really wrong. guys argue that out. Okay. Head slapper. But that's probably because I don't have a gasket in here. So I gotta put a gasket in. Who's thinking? Not me. Gotta put a gasket. You guys are supposed to remind me of this stuff. Here it goes. What's going on? Yeah, I'm not really happy with 2020 at all. So, yeah. Okay, so we got a couple options for gaskets. I use the paper one here just for fitment. That's right on 20 thousandths. The metal one, I think a little bit thinner, 16 thousandths. So let's try the heavier one for the moment. All right, let's see. Smooth. Let's see where it's at. Let's get Squish here.
Thank you.
Thank you. See you.
See ya.
Okay, so with the 20 thousandths gasket, it's like Squish is only like down to 17 thousandths. A little tight. Maybe 16 if you push it. It's a little tight. A little bit tight. Okay. What to do, what to do. The simple thing is to take 5/1000ths off the piston, which is what I think I'll do. Let's see, how are we doing as far as freeporting? No freeporting, so we're good. And let's check the timing numbers. So let's put the old wheel on it here. Okay. The wheel on it, but I gotta put the 10mm on here, which I have. My 10mm adapter, this or M10, yeah. It screws onto there and screws into here, basically. Really nothing exciting. Missing things here. He wants an excavator. Good. Okay. Your firstborn in April, so there's that for me. Congratulations. Yes, that is a wonderful thing about 2020. Little ones give us hope. That's for sure. Gotta have some hope, you know? Okay, so my degree wheel is going to go on. And again, I have just, this is an arbitrary stop. It's aluminum, so it doesn't really hurt anything. Just tighten down reasonable. So how I balance this is pretty easy. I bring the piston visually to top dead center. So somewhere around there. I line it up on the fins. I'll pick like this fin here. Eyeball it, that's all. You can do this with a coat hanger, just put a coat hanger, and then you can balance it that way. For those people that aren't familiar with what I'm doing here, Mastermind has a great video. All you gotta look up in Mastermind Work Saws. He's got a great YouTube video on this, on how to do this. So, again, the piston right now is visually at top dead center. It's not absolute, but now I can bring my wheel around and line it up with that line, and it gives me a more or less. And then what I'll do is you put a stop in here. You back the wheel off, put your stop in. Your stop stops at, say, you read it, like I say, it says roughly 40 degrees. Okay, and then run the wheel back around, and it should stop at the same spot. But you look at it and it says, nah, that says 43. Back around. That says 39, 40. That's pretty close. So I'm going to move this just slightly. 42. Again, the stop is basically at some type of arbitrary point. And it might be at 42, it might be slightly less. Let's see. That's 41 and a half. 41. So that's 41 on that side. And 42 on this side. For what we're doing, that's close enough. So now we have it balanced on both sides, which means that when you bring it to what you think is top dead center, it's going to be pretty close. So that's how you balance a degree wheel effectively, is that I just am visually lining this fin up with whatever number you're choosing. So we have an idea. Let's see for intake. So you bring skirts open, skirts closed. So basically, and this closes unevenly, but right about there, it looks like we're at 89. So I'm going to have to fill in the intake there in order to get something close to reasonable for an intake number. What do I need? I want to go to, let's see, bring it back to 80. Where do we end up? I have to fill it in like 1/8 of an inch with some JB weld. So unfortunately, that's going to take a little bit of doing. Not that it can't be done, but just going to take a little doing. So where's the exhaust? So you bring the exhaust and say, okay, it opens right about there. And that's 90. It's actually like 98. So from top dead center you have 90, and then it lines up with about 98, which is right about where I want it actually. That'd be fine. So I really don't want to grind that much off the exhaust. I might widen it a little bit. I do need to work on the transfers, but the next thing I need to do is get an idea of where the transfers are at here. Sometimes you can look in and see, but if you said, gee, I want to put the transfers somewhere, then the easy thing to do is just to put a ring in here, and I'm going to show you guys that in a second. So 90, 100, 110, 120, 126, 127, 90, 100, 110, 120, 128. Blow down to 30, so I got to grind the transfers a bit, about 10 degrees. Again, the easy thing there, yeah, like anywhere between 81, 82, 83, anywhere in there is fine. But like 89, that's a lot of intake, so I'm gonna see if we can fill that in. Which I think we can. Are you shooting? Yeah, so what am I shooting for? So, like, anywhere between, like, I think like 98 on these is probably pretty good for exhaust. And go for a blowdown of 20, so somewhere around 118, 120-ish. And then, what time is it? Almost noon. Yeah, those 126.89. Right. So this was, well. Remember, Mike Shetley Rattler did the bass and the squish on this for me. So there's the numbers would not be exact. The 89 is probably way high. It was probably closer to 85 stock, and how far down do we drop the cylinder? Probably quite a bit. Just trying to think of where the exhaust was. The exhaust was probably like 102. I'm just taking rough guesses. But if there, then the blowdown would be the same, because the ratio isn't altered. If you lower the head, then the degrees between, it goes up or down evenly. So it would have been like 132 on the transfers. So yeah. So let's get a ring in here and see where I want transfers, because I can grind the exhaust and the transfers then pretty easy. Let's bring that to BDC. Bottom dead center there. I'll grind the exhaust and the transfers reasonably easy, and then I have to fill in the intake, which takes a little more time. Gerbit, what's going on? The intake at 107, or is that 83? Tend to do stuff in relation to top dead center, so I think this is a regular old 54. I don't think this is the 56. Meteor piston. We'll have cable rings, of course. Got the cheap rings here for the moment. Take a cheap ring. If it's before bottom dead center, then it's actually 83, William. I'd say anything more than 83 would be a little bit too much on the intake. I'd want to fill that in. That's just me. Yeah, so the intake would be, well, I can't do it now because I got the ring in there, but let me do the with the ring here, get the transfers. So let's say I wanted to bring 98 to 118, and take it to 120, right, William? Somewhere around there. What do you think? 118. So 90, 100, 110, 120. There's 120, and then back it off to bottom dead center. You need me? Pause, guys. Hang on 1 second. I'll be right back. Yeah, really. Okay. 119, 120. Yeah, so that's like 120. If I grind a little further, polish a little more, I'll be fine. Okay, so the ring now is set right there where it needs to be, and now I can back this off. Well, remember, you can set the exhaust a little bit higher like that, or lower, depending on your perspective. So you can set the exhaust a little bit lower because you have a little more compression. I mean, and this isn't going to have a little bit of compression. This is going to have a lot. So yeah, I've got a little more than a 1/16 of an inch here to grind on the transfers. Let me see if I can show you guys. So this bore is definitely square because Shetley made it square. There. So you can see the ring and you can see how far I need to grind on the transfer. So the easy way to do that, it's real easy. You just take your marker and go in here and mark it. And you're going to grind basically all the black away. I'm going to widen the exhaust a little bit, bevel it a little bit maybe, but other than that I might leave the exhaust more or less alone. Then I have to fill in the intake, whole other ball game. You think I shouldn't? You think I should leave the transfers a little higher, William? Because I've got it like that's like 120 right now. You think I should go higher? Well, so if I go to like I've got like 120 right now. So if I don't grind quite as much, I'll end up at more like 125. If I grind halfway to where I'm going here. You want me to end up at 125. What should I do, guys? Should I take his advice? Or should I go my own way? What should I do? Yeah, I was at like 120. Well, right now how it is at 128. That's where the transfers are now. The ring is now at 120. Sorry, I'm back. I don't know what happened. So here's the thing about the transfers. If I grind them to 120, I can't retract that. You can grind too far. I can't go back. I can't go back to 125. Let's just go for it. I don't know. Let's see what happens. Just so everybody knows, I value William's opinion. So if he thinks I should be at 125, then maybe I stick at 125. You know what I'm saying? Let's see where we end up. Maybe we compromise, like 123. I don't know. Right. See, he's only running 5 of them. See? Let's see where we grind. Got to get that latch fixed here. So I basically have to make my own latch type burrs. There we go. Now it's not going to come out. Cool. There you go. See that? Yeah, now we're getting somewhere. So I'm just not going to go quite down to that line because the end of the black is essentially 120. I'm going to go like halfway. Is it exact? No, it's not. But I'm going to humor William. And that one's shot. Okay, try this again. So you know, the crown gear in here dies fast. So yeah, so what happens to these heads is like they die real quickly. I've only got one more here, so. Yeah, I've gone about halfway through the black there. Let's go to the other side. Let's see if I can get this done before this last one croaks on me. Getting there. So just so everybody knows, this is kind of what I would consider far from ideal grinding. It'd be nice to go in there and really smooth everything out, but I just don't have the tools for it. Wants to just to climb up. Turn it down even more. A little bit of grease. Problem is there's no power when you turn it all the way down. That's about as far. Still need to get that wall down just a little further. With that one. Turning bowls today. Nice. faster. I'm just trying to get the corner. So yeah, the intake side of the transfer, I just want the corner to be fairly smooth here. Good. I can do better on this side, so now I've got... better. Yeah, that shape is better now. Let's show you guys what we got. Is it exact? No, it ain't. So, I need to break for lunch, though, guys. So let me go break for lunch. We're gonna come back to this, and don't think we're gonna get it running today, but we can certainly get the intake poured. So what I need to do is I need to do the exhaust. I need to do the lower transfers. I need to pour the intake. That's what we got to get done, and we'll do that later. Let me break for lunch though, and oh, sorry, camera focus. Yeah, sorry. So lunch break, and I will be back. Cool with everybody? Is that good? You guys good? So let me go see what my wife is up to, and we'll catch you guys later. Back in a bit.